At the same time, it's used for making the engine blocks because of the thermal properties, thermal conductivity properties. It's being used in the beautiful windows and the doors at the domestic level, and at the same time it is being used for the transmission of the high current over long distances. The aluminium make it possible to make speedboats and then rockets. Later on we are using the composite material, but before the composite material, the only material which actually give life or give birth to the speedboats and the rockets, because you need high strength material with the low density for the fuel efficiency and for the, because the low weight you can have a more speed. You can see the home applications, and then you can see the industrial application. There are not many applications available. And so that is the beauty, that's the magic of this aluminum. Now, the important thing, what is our role and responsibility? We have seen the properties of materials, we have seen the process of making the materials, but who will do it? The most important thing. Because all these industries are capital intensive in both, in the human resource and in the monetary resources. I'm talking of the role of the strategic organization or the public sector. It is actually the engine behind the development or growth of all the developed nations. As Maslow defined that the basic need of the human is the food, the shelter, and once he get these two things, the second thing he wants is the safety, the security, his own defense. Then he start getting afraid of the things. So for that purpose, he looked for his defense. He collected the stones, making the weapons, making a bow and arrows to defend himself. The same. So in the modern world, every nation, because जो इंसान है ना उसमें एक ख्वाहिश है कब्जा करने की. जब वो सुकून होता तो साथ वाले को कब्जा कर लेता है, थोड़ी सी ताकत आती है तो दूसरे के घर में छापा मार देता है. तो यही नेशंस में होता है, ये हमेशा से होता है और हमेशा होता रहेगा. चाहे वो रोमन एम्पायर थी, चाहे वो पर्शियन एम्पायर थी, चाहे वो हजरत मूसा की कौम थी, चाहे वो फिरौन था. जब नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के ज़माने में मुसलमान थे और कुफार थे, और फिर जब ग्रो किए तो सब ने एक दूसरे को फतह करने के लिए, द पर्पस इज नोन बेटर नोन टू देम, उसके लिए उन्होंने अपनी तैयारी की और उसके लिए नहीं किया. तो ये जो फलसफा है ये आज तक है. एवरी डेवलप्ड नेशन इन्वेस्टेड इन द डिफेंस सेक्टर. They provide the funding to the defense sector. But the difference in their funding and our funding, they actually funded for the defense projects and later on brought that fruit to the industry so that the industry could grow, so that they can bring the quality into their products, they can achieve the productivity in their organizations. So basic research or basic developments needs to be the responsibility or needs to be carried out by the public sector, and the governments created that public sector and they started investing into it. The same has happened to us. If you can look at this the diagram, so it becomes the dual market technology. Dual market because the one purpose is for the defense, and equally it is also required for your industries and for the domestic purposes. And this cycle is essential for the growth of any nation. So they invested into the defense sector and brought the fruit to the commercial sector, and that's how they develop various products, they increase their base, technological base. Apart from the defense sector, they increase the technological base. We have seen it in the case of the Europe and the US, and now recently we have been observing it in the case of the China. I've got the opportunity to see the China and the Turkey for the last 20 years. They enormously progress, and they did the same thing. Same thing. If you look at their historical records, none of the countries have done different from any other country. The same path. Names they have given different. And that's where we are lacking. Now I want to tell you what is the KRL's contribution. I've told you that we don't get the margin steel. We found the problems. We developed it in our laboratories and then take up a dormant facility in Karachi in 87 or 88 with the name of People Steel Mill. We conducted a BMR and we produced the maraging steel 350 over there, and it's been produced, and they are capable, and it is fully upgraded to the modern steel alloy mill of any country. They can be able to produce the super alloys, super steel alloys, and it's the only alloy manufacturing facility in Pakistan. So that's what, and if they are actually fulfilling the 75% requirements of your automotive industry. So that is what is required. But I have told you, you need to invest in the public sector. You did your job for the defense or your strategic purposes, and then pass on the fruit to the industrial sector. The second thing which we encountered, that is the availability of the fuel for our missile program or for rockets. And this is again a ban and deny technology. The engineers and the scientists in Kerala, they did it in their laboratories, and then they raised the two refineries in Karachi for making two different types of the fuels. And these are the examples that these are the only two refineries which are 100% indigenously designed, erected, commissioned, and then put to operations. They make the fuel, and later on, now they are producing the normal petroleum products and earning revenues for our other programs also. So this is the second example. The third thing is the small aluminum, because of which I'm giving you all these background, and what I at the end what I want to tell you, or what I requested you to help us in moving forward. The small aluminum, again, it's a very bitter story. In 2004 and 5, one of our, because aluminum pipe, seamless pipe is our lifeline for the centrifuge, and we need it in huge quantities. One of our ship bringing this material to Pakistan was forfeited by the US agencies, and it's dying moments for KRL. At that time, and thanks to Dr. Anjum Saab, Dr. Balayat Saab, and Dr. Abel Khan, and many other doctors, Hashmi, those people sat together and they decided to put a seamless element. And what my mentors, they told me, because I was not fully involved in the later on I found, they knew nothing about raising this kind of a facility. They started searching the literature, visiting different places in the world to get this technology. Nobody is ready to provide them, but they ultimately found in the Chinese, with their limited knowledge, continuously improving that knowledge, they started that facility, and that facility started operations in 2010, producing the quality seamless pipes and the rods and different other forging and many other extruded samples of extruded shapes of different aluminum over there. And we have got the maximum available capacity press in Pakistan, 55 kilonewton. I think I'm right, the 55. It's a huge press. And it is equipped with all type of the heat treatment facilities. All types. वहाँ पर जो quenching furnace है, उसको हम कहते हैं ये गधा टेक्नोलॉजी से बना, क्योंकि हमें 50 फुट नीचे जाना था, दरिया के किनारे में हर वक्त पानी रहता था, तो वो डॉक्टर साहब बैठे हैं, उन्होंने फिर वो गधे अरेंज किए थे जो मिट्टी वैसे तो बहुत गधे सारा ज़्यादा काम करते हैं, वो पूरे का पूरा मिट्टी निकालते रहे और उसके बाद वो क्वेंचिंग फर्नेस बना एंड इट्स अवेलेबल नाउ. Then came the magnets and the magnetic material. Again, a very developed field. यहाँ पे फिर हमें वही प्रॉब्लम्स आई, लोगों ने बंदे मार दिए हमारे. फिर मेटलर्जी, मैंने आपसे कहा मेटलर्जी के बगैर मुमकिन नहीं है. यही मेटलर्जी, यही लोग, इन्होंने इसके ऊपर काम शुरू किया और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अल्लाह ताला ने कामयाबी दी. और उसके बाद ये इदारा विद इब्न सीना इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी इस्लामाबाद H11 में रेस किया गया, जहाँ पर ना सिर्फ तमाम तरह के मैग्नेट्स टेक्नोलॉजीज़ के ऊपर काम हुआ, डेवलपमेंट हुई, प्रोडक्शन भी हो रही, एंड द कंटिन्यूअस research and development is being done over there, and it's again only facility in Pakistan, and now they are providing all kinds of the help to the strategic sector in where every kind of magnet is banned for Pakistan. They are feeling problems. And now, alhamdulillah, we are able to fulfill our requirements, and now we are ready to help our entrepreneurs and help our industrial sector if they want to enter into EVs, if they want to enter into, we are fully equipped and fully, completely ready to help you, but we are just waiting for somebody to knock at our doors, give us their requirements, talk with us their specification. We are fully able to provide them the magnets to enter into the field of the EVs. Then we raised printed circuit boards manufacturing facility, which is again the requirement of, because we cannot send our, now that you are all aware that cybersecurity, but the people with the Khan, Dr. Iju Khan, they have learned enough, they are visionary enough. They knew we cannot send our electronic circuitry outside from making this printed circuit boards. They put it in the KRL first, the small plant, later on the 16-layer plant, and now, inshallah, in years, in a months to come, we will be having a 30 layers multidisciplinary printed circuit board capability in Pakistan. So these are the examples how the public sector funding will be utilized for the defense sector or the strategic sector, and how we can pass it on to the commercial or the entrepreneur. Life cycle of innovation, we all know that when you think anything about making any innovation, you require the amount of the funding. And this funding is of two types. We always consider the funding as a monetary, no? So two types of funding. One is the time, which is very important, because you don't need heavy funds in the beginning. You need the time, and you need the HR, the human capital, who can think about, who can design, who can experiment, who can face the problems, who can come out of the problems and bring out a product. And at that time you need the maximum funding for raising the minimum infrastructure. So after these, for the startup, you need actually continued research. क्यों करते हैं? कभी सोचा है? हम बड़े दफ़ा पढ़ते हैं इनोवेशन, हम बहुत जगह पर देखते हैं कि ये इनोवेटिव थॉट्स नहीं हैं. कभी हमने सोचा ये है क्या, और ये हम क्यों नहीं कर पाते? इनोवेशन जो ना वो ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आप प्रोडक्ट बाहर लाएं. यानी ये नहीं कि आपने आज टोयोटा का एक मॉडल लाया तो अगले साल नया मॉडल है, उसमें नई चीज़ आप देखेंगे, कुछ नहीं होता, ज़्यादा नहीं होता, लेकिन आप उसमें ये मुझे अंदाज़ा होगा, मैं सामने वो देख रहा हूँ उसको ख़त्म करने के चक्कर में, तो वो मैंने सर आपसे कहा था स्लाइड्स बढ़ गई हैं, जब शुरू हो गया तो फिर मुश्किल हो जाएगा. चल खैर, तो वो आप या प्रोसेस इंप्रूव कर रहे होते हैं या फिर आप प्रोडक्ट पे इंप्रूव कर, तो डिफरेंट चीज़ें इनोवेशन, वो सारी इनोवेशन में आती हैं. क्विकली ग्रो थ्रू अब कैपिटल फंड जो पब्लिक फंडिंग आती कब है, ज़रा गौर कीजिएगा। पब्लिक फंडिंग आती है या तो आपको डिफेंस की नीड्स हों, या इंटरनेशनल एम्बार्गोज को आप फेस करें, और या कोई डिनाइड टेक्नोलॉजीज। ये तीन चीज़ें हैं जो एजुकेट करती हैं पब्लिक सेक्टर को, गवर्नमेंट्स को, कि दे मस्ट प्रोवाइड द फंडिंग टू पीपल हु आर केपेबल ऑफ डूइंग दिस थिंग्स, एंड दे प्रोवाइड द फंड्स। और इसकी फिर आउटकम आपके पास आती है, या तो आपका जो कोई नई टेक्नोलॉजी आप दरियाफ्त करते हैं, या फिर आप नया इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करते हैं, जो मैंने आपको बताया, जैसे पीपल स्टील मिल को रेस करना, सो एल्यूमिनियम को, मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल, इसमें दोनों चीज़ें हमें सामने हैं। टाइम कम है इसलिए मैं आप आखिरी नुक्ते पे आता हूँ। You have learned or you have read about this innovation valley of death. जब हम इनोवेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं पब्लिक फंडिंग से, इस ग्राफ को जरा गौर से देखिएगा। ये तो माइक खत्म हो जाएगा, कितनी आवाज तो नहीं पहुंचेगी, मैं बात कोशिश करता हूं। अब ये देखिए कि ये ग्राफ अगर आप इसको देखें तो पब्लिक फंडिंग जब स्टार्ट होती है तो वो बेसिक टेक्नोलॉजिकल रिसर्च के लिए शुरू होती है। वो बेसिक टेक्नोलॉजिकल रिसर्च के लिए वो आप उसको अपना PC1 देते हैं, कुछ भी देते हैं, उसके बाद आप उसके लिए आपको फंडिंग स्टार्ट होती है मिनिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट लेवल, और कॉन्सेप्ट और फिर प्रॉब्लम सोल्यूशन और फिट आइडेंटिफिकेशन तक यहाँ पर पहुँचते वो ये कर रहे थे जो इंटरनेशनल जो उसमें। लेकिन वही उन्होंने ये इस पे ये था कि जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं वो उनको ज्वाइन कर लेते हैं, जैसे ही वो कॉन्सेप्चुअल रिसर्च मैच्योर होती है, उसका कॉन्सेप्ट सामने आता है तो वो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को इन्वॉल्व कर लेते हैं। और उसकी बहुत सारी एग्जांपल्स आपके साथ, आपके ये जो आप याहू मेल और ये जो हॉट मेल और ये जितनी भी देखते हैं, ये भी सारी उधर से उसी जगह से एंटरप्रेन्योर ने इनको पिक किया। ये भी डिफेंस सेक्टर में थी, वर्ल्ड वॉर में भी इसका इस्तेमाल होता रहा है। अब यहाँ पर उसके बाद अगर तो इसको वो कोई इन्वेस्टर मिल जाता है जो कि इसको बढ़ा सकेगा, क्योंकि पब्लिक में दोनों में जो पब्लिक सेक्टर में लोग काम करने वाले होते हैं उनका भी जो एक मोटिव होता है या उनका जो मोटिवेशन लेवल होता है वो ड्रॉप हो जाता है। अगर उनको नया प्रॉब्लम नहीं मिलेगा, उनको नए बात नहीं मिलेगी, उनको नए रिकग्निशन के रास्ते नहीं मिलेंगे, वो डाउन चला जाएगा। तो ये, और अगर ये नहीं तो ये इस वैली ऑफ डेथ में आके वो इनोवेशन खत्म हो जाता है। देखिए बिजनेस देख उठा के देखें नेट पे बहुत सारे खत्म। अगर ये मिल जाते तो यहाँ पर ये उठती है। मैं इसको क्योंकि वक्त है मैं इसको छोड़ देता हूँ। असल में हमारा जो प्रॉब्लम है इस वो है आप लोगों से जो है कि मैंने आपको अपने ये दिखा दिया है सारा कि इस वक्त PSN is on the growing path, but they still need the entrepreneurship. But saw aluminum is right and the materials, they are both right. You all, I have seen the stalls. You are importing the aluminum, but this facility is in our country. But I know you will say कि ये कीमत ज़्यादा है। ये कीमत उस वक्त तक ज़्यादा जब तक आप और वो ज्वाइन नहीं करते। Once the economy of scales is achieved, और ये मुमकिन तब होगा जब आप लोग उनको इनपुट देंगे, अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट्स बताएंगे, उनके साथ मिलकर बैठेंगे, they will conduct experimentation, they will satisfy your needs. So यहाँ पर हमें एंटरप्रेन्योर चाहिए ताकि हम ये इस वैल्यू ऑफ डेथ में जाके डाई डाउन ना हो जाए। So this is the utmost requirement. Every requirement or everything you need regarding the aluminum, you must have to look at this facility and try to provide them your requirements, your observations, and whatever you need, you just tell them. They will do their job, and I recommend they will invite you. Anybody who wants to see that facility, the seeing is believing. And now it's open up now. You can visit, but you need a little bit of time. You just tell them and go and see that facility. And this is what is the requirement of the time, that we must get the benefit from the investments in the government sectors, investment in the government sectors in this infrastructure. We need the capital, the entrepreneurs to come forward and join hands together. And just for your glimpse, look at the economic impact of this aluminum in the US economy. It's providing 165,000 workers directly and indirectly, more than 500,000. They generated $92 billion and directly and indirectly 136 billion. It's a 2024 survey of John Dunham and Associates, which was conducted, and that's the state of affairs on the economic front. What is our desire? Entrepreneurs, academia, industry, and individuals who have any idea to implement it may utilize the facility of Aluminium Allied Manufacturing to get their desired input and enhance the facility to grow as per the requirements of the local industrial sector. And need to save and pull this facility from falling into the innovation of value gap. This is my recommendation, this is our recommendation, and this is our request to all of the industry. Lesson what I learned: the success or the key to this growth and the success in collaboration, coordination, and teamwork. Without this, you cannot imagine or feel about it. And it's your facility, it's our facility, above all, it's a national facility. We all must join hands together as to use it as an engine of growth, prosperity, and productivity enhancer for industry and academia. Thank you very much. I hope
Thank you, sir, for such a nice and valuable talk. Now the floor is open for